All right, let's talk about one of the most important issues with the sofa, figuring out how long it needs to be. People struggle with this pretty regularly, and I don't exactly know why. The starting point, the simplest way to start figuring out how much of a sofa you can fit in your room is to measure the maximum size you can accommodate. Start with the max, the absolute most that you think you can fit into your living room or wherever room it's going into. That's a good starting point because then the next question is how many people are going to be sitting on that sofa. I think a good average size is about 24 inches per adult. So every person you're going to be sitting on needs, roughly speaking, about 24 inches. Obviously, there's some play in that. Some people are bigger, some people are smaller. You've got kids, but that's a good starting point. So you have 3 people regularly sitting on the sofa. You need 72 inches of seating space, not 72 inches long sofa, 72 inches of seating space. The next thing to factor in is anyone going to be lying down on it? And if so, how tall are they? If you have somebody who's 6'4" lying down on a sofa, you need more than somebody who's 5'8". The next thing you have to kind of negotiate is the ratio between the seating width and the overall width, because the overall width accommodates the armrests that are on the sofa. So if you really are limited on space and you need as much seating space as possible, you're not going to be looking at a sofa that has massive arms on it. Like a Chesterfield sofa's got an 11-inch wide arm. That's going to be hard to work with. We've, as a result of that, because we build a lot of Chesterfield sofas, have a version of our Chesterfield that has a narrower arm. It's 8 inches versus 11 inches. Saving 6 inches on the sofa can make a difference in many cases. So keep that in mind. You also are going to want to think about what else is going on in the room. Do you want side tables on either side of your sofa? If you do, you have to accommodate for that. But also keep in mind, some sofas, once again, the Chesterfield sofa, the armrest is also tall on that. And so you might find that a side table is not all that useful with a Chesterfield sofa. You might prefer instead to just go with a bigger coffee table to set down drinks and things like that, and then do like a floor lamp. So that may give you the ability to go a little bit wider if you're going to skip the side tables. The other thing that I found in working with people is that 2 things happen. If you have an open concept space, you can have an open layout that you're working with, people tend to kind of underbuy on sofa. They don't necessarily go as large of a sofa as they can actually accommodate. And the opposite often happens in a traditional layout, traditional 4-walled room. People can kind of go over the top on sofa length, and all of a sudden they get themselves into trouble. So keep that in mind. Open concept, you might be able to go larger than you're thinking, longer than you're thinking. Closed concept or traditional layout, you might have to go a little bit smaller. When in doubt, shoot us measurements. Other things you have to consider, of course, are getting into the home. If you have tight turns and going upstairs or anything like that, any sort of obstacles, you're going to have to factor that in as an element to prepare for, but that's usually not too big of a deal, particularly if it's going into a living room. So make sure you can accommodate everyone that's going to be using the sofa and how they're going to be using the sofa. Understand that might, in some circumstances, dictate the style that you're going with a little bit. You might have to be a little more careful about what profiles you look at. If you are completely uncertain of where to start with, I will tell you that by the numbers, far and away, the most popular sizes are going to be in the 7 and 8 foot ranges. So something in the realm of 84 inches and something in the realm of 96 inches and anything in between. Those are always far and away the most popular profiles that we build size-wise. So that should get you started. When in doubt, take measurements. Feel free to send us floor plans and things like that, and we'll help you figure out exactly what size is right for your home.